Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Are We Idiots Show, a podcast promoting the free exchange of ideas, questioning the status quo, and hopefully having some fun along the way. I'm your host, Mark Weaver, along with co-host Rich Kroll. Kroller, how are you, buddy?
Thank you so much for asking me that question. Just great.
Great. Well, so today is kind of an interesting show. It's a mini show. We're going to call it Preface, like a book. And you're a very literate guy, so
Illiterate or literate?
Literate. You are very literate. You're an avid reader. And what we're trying to do today is just to do a why are we doing this episode?
I'm wondering why we're doing this, actually, as I sit here.
Yeah, I hijacked you and brought you over to the house just to record. But I wanted to give the listeners a little background on us and why we decided to do the Are We Idiots podcast, and help them to get a frame of reference as we move forward. So that's the agenda for this mini episode, that people can understand what we're all about and why we're moving forward.
Okay.
So I'll go first, and then you can jump in. So this idea germinated a long time ago.
Germinated? You're already hitting the audience with the word germinated.
It germinated several years ago. As I got to be of a certain age, and you have certain opinions about life, and you observe lots of things, and you start to see society changing, and some things that make you scratch your head a little bit, make you wonder if you're an idiot or those people are an idiot in the way they're acting or talking.
I can guarantee for the audience, you are often an idiot.
Often. And that'll be proven out over this podcast. But really what I wanted to do, and I felt very strongly about, is I believe that the free exchange of ideas is healthy for people and for the human race. And that's how we evolve, and that's how we improve, and that's how you learn and diversify, is to hear other people's opinions different from your own and disagree without being disagreeable. Does that make sense?
Yes and no.
How no?
I don't understand some of the words you use.
But the point is that I think the reason that we started the show is we can talk about difficult subjects, and some of the topics we're going to have, our first show is going to be about free speech. We're going to talk in a future episode about gun control and some very controversial topics, but we're going to do it and try to present points of view that may be controversial, but hopefully we can do it and learn and have everyone adopt a posture of disagreeing without being disagreeable.
Okay, so you and I have been friends for 40 years. We're good buddies, but we're very different.
That's true.
You are very serious. You are as dry as a bone.
Often I get accused of being way too serious, but we won't go into
Bordering
the details of that.
on flat out boring, but I still like you.
Knowledgeable and boring is no way to go through life, son.
No, it's not, quite frankly. But I'll give you credit, Weave. You're an intelligent guy. You're very well versed in world issues. You get involved in things a lot of people just ignore, although they're important topics, and you've always brought them up, and you're trying to affect change around the world, but who the hell would listen to you? Just you, right? So that's why I'm sitting here.
I have to pay my wife to listen to me. You kidding me? So, yeah, we knew each other since high school, actually. We both have families, and I have a bunch more kids than he does, but we're of a certain age where we're concerned about the future generations. And I think speaking out and trying to make a difference is important. So that's why I am doing this, and you certainly provide the comedic relief, and hopefully the listeners will get a blend of content that's presented in a fun way, and we can have some fun together.
Well, it's got to be fun. We don't want to be confused with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon and Grumpy Old Men, which you're becoming, by the way, a bit of a grumpy old man. So I'd love to hear your opinions, but I have to keep you on the rails because you often pontificate in a way that's offensive to most Americans.
Well, hopefully people won't get offended, but I think that's probably inevitable that I'll say something, and you'll say something that will offend people. You tend to be middle of the road type of guy, not taking positions, but I'll try to put you in a corner and make you take a position.
Sometimes I agree with the right, sometimes I agree with the left, sometimes I take a middle stance. I try to go with whatever is going to be most popular, and I won't get too beat up over.
So you have no principles whatsoever.
I am coreless. I have no core values.
Well, that brings to my other part of my motivation. I have a confession. I have a libertarian, small L libertarian slant to most things that I espouse, and I don't endorse the Libertarian Party with a capital L. But I do believe in libertarian values, and I think that'll come out in it definitely will come out in some of our conversations and podcasts. So I guess guilty as charged, and I'm sure you'll challenge many of these positions.
Well, what's interesting is, for whatever reason, people have come to me, whether they're children, grandparents, rabbis, priests, blue collar, white collar, for advice. I'm not sure why, but I do think I have a pretty grounded opinion that helps people. I like helping people. I need to help you because you are clueless at times. And we're going to have some fun doing this. We are going to broach. Is it breach or broach? Broach. Tough subjects because everyone's so afraid, right? You can get sued for anything, right? You spill a cup of coffee on your lap and you can sue McDonald's for $1 billion. It's, you can't say this about this religion or this race or this political party, or everything's so politically correct, it's become politically incorrect. And we'd like to face some of these topics head on. And I look like men, like grumpy old men would.
And I look at it as I am the marketing department for the libertarians because they've had horrible marketing over the years. Of all the groups that have opinions and political organizations, the libertarians are awful at marketing. No one even knows what a libertarian is, but maybe they'll start to get an inkling with some of my positions.
It's actually a shame, right? Because most of the political figures we have in our lives today are idiots, or they do idiotic things, whether it's the left or the right. So I'm kind of on board with your libertarian mentality that we need a third party, although I don't even know why I'm getting into this topic right now. But I brought this up with your brother last week. I would say the majority of human beings are either idiots, incompetent, self-absorbed, intolerable, insensitive, although there's still a lot of good people, but
short-term in their thoughts, not long-term thinking.
Very short-term. Everyone's so self-absorbed.
The immediate gratification nation.
The IGN. We are going to use that a lot, the IGN.
That should be our website.
It's a shame. Everybody's caught up in their own world, their own problems. And I get that, right? You got to take care of yourself. You got to take care of your family. But can we just have a little common sense added to the world?
Well, I certainly hope so. And that's certainly one of the goals of the show as we broach these difficult subjects. I hope to learn. I hope to have my opinions changed. I hope to change your opinion on things, which will probably never happen because you're stubborn as a bull. But
I did bring a thesaurus with me because half the words you use, first of all, nobody understands what half the words are. You clearly have a master's from some Ivy League and try to show that and prove how smart you are.
We won't get into that today, looking down on people of lesser education.
You'll slip it in.
Well, I'll slip that in later on in the shows. But so my goal is, and obviously on a serious note, I'm looking forward to doing this with my good friend of 40 years. We're going to have some fun. We're going to probably offend some people. We're probably going to gain some friends, but really looking forward to it. I'm excited about it. I know you're excited about it. So the Are We Idiots show is officially launched, and our first episode is going to be talking about free speech here in the coming days.
Dilly dilly.
So, folks, like I said, our first episode is coming up here in a couple of days. When you get it, please, if you like it, we ask you to subscribe and share and become a supporting listener. Remember, if what you see or hear sounds idiotic, then we're just the guys to help you sort it out. See you all on our first episode. Take care.